Slema, as they say in Tunisia. Today we are going to review Tunisian shishas. Yes, as some of you already know, if you've followed my previous videos, my first hookahs, or first water pipes, oriental water pipes I got, were from Tunisia. Tunisia happens to be relatively close to Spain, to France, and it's a favorite destination, or used to be a favorite destination. It was very inexpensive to travel there, and it had been under Turkish rule, under Ottoman rule, for quite some time, then became a French protectorate at the end of the 19th century. But by then, of course, water pipes were in use there. Now, this is so in Tunisia, and it's quite different if you travel west, that is in Algeria. You did find some hookahs in the 19th century, but not so much in Morocco. So in Tunisia, Turkish influence was great. Much greater than neighbouring countries. Anyhow, from what I've read on books by Kamal Shawashi, smoking shisha meaning water pipe with a vase made of glass, of crystal, in both Tunisia and Egypt. Shisha never meant the actual tobacco you're smoking it, which is called tombak by Tunisians, even if it's moasl. They know it's moasl, they call it tombak more often than not. If you look at this tombak ambre, this is moasl, amber flavored, kind of plain molasses, amber flavored. I'm smoking now the most popular tobacco there, which is plain moasl, close to zaglul, much better according to some, Sheikh al-Balad. So, smoking shisha became very, very popular in the 60s and 70s of the past century. I understand it was not so popular before, but at that point, only Lebanon would be a rival. I mean, of course, there was a long tradition in Egypt and around, from Yemen to, of course, India and Afghanistan. But in Tunisia in the 70s and 80s, believe me, it became a social problem. So I've known of a person who would be smoking, but the uncle of my friends, he'd be smoking all day long. He'd be smoking on his car. He'd be smoking while having a picnic on the beach, in the mountain, at the office, partying every time. He had a small hookah, he carried everywhere, a small shisha, and that was it. So here are my my 5 hookahs. Since this tiny piece of jewelry, this is silver made hookah. Beautiful gift of my friends. Right, so by the way, I'm wearing not my usual fez or Tarbush Istanbuli, but a shishia Tunisia, which is this thick felt headdress, which is typical of Tunisia. So those are typical Tunisian water pipes. Those are the ones you'll find in many cafés, but those are quality ones. That is, if you travel to Tunisia, you'll find a lot of Chinese-made junk these days, and you'll find lesser quality hookahs. These are all nickel-plated brass. They're hollow, they're not solid brass. It's always like this. I've never seen solid pieces in Tunisia except for very old, solid silver hookahs. This is quite typical, the shape of the carter, or however you call it, wing cover. So this shape is typical. Same as the shape of the bowls, which is, as you can see, almost flat. More often than not, they use this kind of bowls. They do have clay bowls as well, of different shape, but this is quite usual both for Moisson and for Jirac, which they also use. At the time in Tunisia, that is 15 to 20 years ago, the most popular blend was this, Sheikh al-Balad, and then they smoked a lot of Nahla, of course. And as I say, they would use these pipes, which telltale indicators of Tunisian pipes are the ashtray, which is welded to the pipe. It is part of the pipe, except on this older one, which has a different bowl, which is a male bowl, female pipe, and this can be removed. In shape, as you can see, they look a bit like Syrian pipes. And they have some elements, some of them would look like Turkish nargilés. But as I say, they are much, much lighter, very light. And as you can see, at that period, 15 years ago, even nowadays I would say, these so-called Nisbo vases were readily available. So this I got in the market of Tunis, souk of the Medina, of the old town of Tunis, and both were gifts, but I went with my friends to choose the pieces as you choose high fidelity, that is, you choose the stem and you choose the wind cover and the hoses. The hoses are Tunisian made. This is a very good quality one. Of course it is a normal one, plastic made, but with galvanized spring in there, so it can take some water. I wouldn't put water in there, and the finish is exceedingly good, much better than Syrian or Egyptian equivalents. So the question which has been asked to me several times is whether these are quality pipes or not. Well, they are for me collectibles, that is, of course, in Spain, Germany or France. Loads of us have been, of tourists, been to Tunisia and came back with something akin to this or lower quality if they had no idea. So here there wouldn't be a rarity, but in the States, for what I can see, they are unheard of. So yes, there will be collectible items. Let's take apart this. As I say, they are very light. Inner tube is always copper downstem. Copper downstem. Welds are exceedingly good. Almost, you can, of course, this is nickel plated after it's been made, so that you can only see that it is copper looking at the inside. Telltale indicators, as I said, this kind of tray, the shape in general, no purge valve. Never seen a real Tunisian with purge valve. What became very popular is screw up vases, which I never liked. So this is what I wanted to tell you about. Yeah. And otherwise, how do they smoke? Well, this would have a bigger port hoses or hose ports are really small, solid, but small. So not Narbish or modern Namur hose would not fit in here. You have to use leather or old Tunisian hoses. And of course, the downstem is just 9 millimeters, so it's narrower than on a Halim Mamoun. But they smoke just as good as, let's say, Turkish